Hello, dear friends. Monday, April 28th, 2025. I'd like to share with you a couple of thoughts from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 5. I'm not going to read the whole chapter this time. I'm just going to go through some main points. And once again, I'd like to remind you that this was written over 100 years before the time of Christ, over 100 years, a couple hundred years for that matter, before the time of the New Testament writings. Solomon is speaking, and he says, "The one who did what is right will stand up with full confidence in the very midst of those who caused his suffering and made light of his distress. They'll tremble with great fear when they see him. They'll be amazed that he was delivered so unexpectedly. They'll sing a different tune as they gasp and say to themselves, 'He's the one we mocked? He's the one we insulted? What idiots we were. We thought his life was madness and his death a disgrace. How is it that he's now counted among God's children? How is it that he's now considered one of the saints?'" You can see how powerful that is. Prior to all the teachings that we know from the letters of the saints and the apostles and the teachings of Christ and so on and so forth. And so it goes on further, and they say, "What good did our pride do us?" This is the wicked speaking, the unbeliever speaking, right? "What good were our wealth and pretension? These things have all passed away like a shadow." And it goes to describe how it leaves no trace in the ungodly person. It says, "The ungodly person's hope disappears like dust in the wind." If you've ever wondered, that famous song by Kansas called "Dust in the Wind," if you ever wondered what might have inspired that song, well, there you go. Solomon said that the wicked are like dust in the wind. And then it goes on, it says, in contrast, "Those who do the right thing live forever. Their reward comes from the Lord," and talks about the rewards of the righteous. "The cosmos itself will join with him to defeat those who have wandered from reason." And then I'll just share the last sentence of the chapter. It says, "Evil doing will pull down the thrones of the powerful," which I'd like to talk about, especially today, seeing that today is the federal election day for the country of Canada. I'll talk about that in a separate video shortly. But there you go. The Book of Wisdom, chapter number 5 by Solomon from the Apocrypha. I hope it encourages you. I recommend that you find that and read it. It's available to read free online. Very short chapters, short book, but very encouraging, very inspiring. And it's an encouragement to persevere in trying to do what's right, trying to do what's good. It's often a sign of youth when people want to rebel against God, reject God, and so on and so forth. And those people will have their own reasons for doing that. But it's interesting, I was reading in the book of John the other day, right before Christ went to the Garden of Gethsemane, right before he went to the cross, he prayed for those who would believe in him. And not only those who would believe in him, but those who would believe in him from the words of those who believe in him. So he's praying for the future believers. And he even said, "Father, I don't pray for the world, but I pray for those who you've chosen," right? And another place where he says, "You didn't choose me, I chose you before the foundation of the world." And for the last 2,000 years, God has preserved what's called the elect, those that are chosen to believe in him. And it is a real sacred blessing. It's not so much a favoritism, because we know John 3:16, for anybody can believe in, anybody who wants to, is really what it means, that whosoever, it means anybody and everybody who wants. And then John 3:17, it says Christ didn't come to judge the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So salvation is available to the entire world. It's available to everybody. But God knows that many, it says, broad is the way that leads to destruction. Many are those that choose not to believe in God. And in fact, if we go back again to that prayer that Christ made before he went to the cross, it says that those that disbelieve see the lives of those that do believe. And by seeing those that do believe, they realize that God is true. Now, atheists will argue and say things like, oh, I have no awareness of God and so on. But by seeing the believers, the salt of the earth types, those that have faith in God, by seeing those people, they say, in their inner mind, in their spirit, they say, they have something that they believe in that's true. That must be true. And atheists again will deny it, say, no, I don't believe that. They're just in falsehood and they're deceived and so on and so forth. But we can see even from the words of Solomon, even before the message of salvation arrived, that those people eventually realized that they were in the wrong. They said, oh, we are wrong and our lives have amounted to nothing. And these righteous people that wanted to put God first, they ended up being right. This is the cohesive message that doesn't waver throughout the scriptures, before Christ, after Christ, with the apostles, with Solomon, ancient prophets. They all point to the same thing, that God is sovereign, that it's important that we put God first in our lives. And if we do that, we reap the benefit, not only in this life, but in eternal rewards. That message is repeated in many different ways, in many different circumstances, beyond our understanding, in simple things, in complex things. That message keeps getting repeated over and over again throughout history. And those that listen to that message and incorporate that into their belief system, into their outlook of the world, are the ones who benefit the most from that. But it's available to everybody, according to, as I said, John 3:17, right? And John 3:16 for that matter as well. It's available to everybody, but so many people, more and more every day, it seems like it these days, especially since the turn of the 18th century, when the vast majority of people took those beliefs for granted. Today, only about a third believe those things. And more and more people every day are rejecting those beliefs and saying, no, I don't want to choose God. And that's a sad thing. So I hope that you're part of that third. Zechariah prophesied saying that God would take a third of the population and take them through fire and refine them and preserve them. And I hope you're part of that family of God, as they often call it. So wherever you are, God bless you. I pray you're able to spend time with people you love. Have mercy on those who don't believe. Pray for them. Try and encourage them if you can. And realize that it's their free choice, that they're choosing to reject God. And there's not a whole lot that we can do, especially when we see that even Christ said that he didn't pray for the world. He prayed for those who God had chosen, and for those who would believe based on their testimony and their words, as we experience today, that we believe because of the words of those who have gone before us. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you. I hope this is an encouragement to you, and I pray that you're able to enjoy the beautiful spring weather that we're experiencing today. Have yourself a wonderful day. We'll talk to you again soon, okay? Take care. Bye for now.